So a lot of people will know that Hugo Weaving was not the one to play the Red Skull in Avengers Infinity War. Instead, it was a completely different actor. And as it turns out, Weaving was actually asked to come back, but he turned it down. So a lot of people will know Hugo Weaving had a bad experience working on the Red Skull. Specifically, when he had to get into the costume for the first Avenger, working on that Red Skull makeup and the prosthetics and stuff took hours upon hours, and he absolutely hated the experience. So even though he was contracted for 3 movies, he, didn't want to come back to Disney for Infinity War. And Joe and Anthony Russo, the directors of Infinity War and Avengers 4, asked him specifically, being like, would you come back? And he didn't want to do it. Now, while they don't talk about why he didn't do it, I think it's kind of obvious, if that makes sense, on why he didn't do it. 1, he had a bad experience with all the makeup and prosthetics and he didn't want to do it. 2, he's kind of insulted comic book movies over the last couple of years, like just trashing them and talking bad about them and just, outright hating on them. And his, I guess, Hollywood career hasn't really been at a high since like the Matrix movies ended, and really since he was the Red Skull. And there's certainly a grudge there. If you kind of watch and read some of his interviews, he holds this grudge against it. And he was also, at the time, shooting some other movies as well. Mortal Engines for Warner Brothers, so you can kind of see why there. And also, at the time that Captain America, the original, the first Avenger, was greenlit, that was still a Marvel contract. So it's before the Disney buyout happened, right? So it was an interesting time and place that they were at, and not everything was in stone. But he just had a bad experience. He didn't want to do it, and they asked him. He turned down the money, he turned down appearing, he turned down the photo shoot for the Marvel Decades, and obviously I think that was kind of indicative that this dude's never coming back. But they got someone else to play him, and honestly I think he did an amazing job for what he was given briefly in that movie, so nothing really big lost.